today. From Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, this is the NFL on EA Sports. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills taking on Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers.
From the home of the Bills since 1973, we are at Highmark Stadium, just south of downtown Buffalo. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. And we are underway in Buffalo. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. For the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
I remember when he came out of Wyoming, the big question mark, could he be accurate enough to be a star in the NFL? I think it's safe to say he's put all of us in our place and put those doubts to rest. He can roll out and run it. He can bomb it over your heads. Everything in between. He is an absolute nightmare for defenses to try and prepare for. And when he's on, he's an MVP caliber player each and every time he takes the field.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Allen. That's to Cook out of the backfield. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. And gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
On play action, Allen, he'll air this one out deep for Davis. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. A big play here for Buffalo, 42 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To the air, Allen. Touchdown, Bills! Allen on target there to Stephon Diggs. And the Bills get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they like, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by Mr. Irrelevant in the 2022 draft, a guy with something to prove, Iowa State's career passing leader. And that's Brock Purdy.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
Well, they just watched the other team take the ball downfield and score, so they knew that this drive, this opening drive, was on them. And, boy, that was important to pick up that first down there and keep this one going.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. Open man is Samuel, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. Again, he'll find Samuel for the completion. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. That's Samuel, caught left side. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
2nd down and 8. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 18 yards, first down Niners. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more on that one and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Christian McCaffrey taking it in from 7 yards away. And the 49ers are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Gold with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. That's complete to Davis. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. Allen. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 43. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Allen hit. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes, when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Oh, the option is Allen. And he lost lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And this is one of the dangers of letting your quarterback run the football. Now, look, he goes through ball security drills just like a running back does. But most of the time, the quarterback swings the ball away from his body. And in traffic, sometimes they forget to protect it.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, it's Purdy.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And this is what you wanted to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out, and giving the ball back to their offense.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away.
Back deep, Nyheim Hines.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
From the gun, it's Allen. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play. On 1st down, Allen.
And he will slide to a halt with a penalty marker down on the play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Allen. Buying time to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
2nd and 14.
Here's Allen to throw it. Now they go screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. 7-7, our score after one. The Bills on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 14. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Crowder's got it over the middle. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep, Ray McLeod. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Purdy looking to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. I guess that was a little better. He got back to the line of scrimmage there after the loss on 1st down, but now you're still dealing with a 3rd and long.
So let's put on our offense coordinator hat. They've been very aggressive against the run the last 2 plays. I'm thinking screen right here. Let him come get the quarterback and dump it off, and there could be some room to roam.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 39-yard line.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
Shifts by him. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Brock Purdy.
A 13-yard touchdown run.
And the Niners have taken the lead.
So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And this one nearly picked off.
Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
Allen now looks to throw. Out to his left. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
Allen off the play fake. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
That's multiple times now he's tagged them with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
And now they'll throw with Allen. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Dre Greenlaw getting home on that one. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Here's second and 10.
Allen going to throw.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So on 4th down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit.
This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash.
The kick by Bass is good.
And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 31, Purdy completes it to the tight end, Kittle.
2 yards on the pickup there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Again to the big tight end, George Kittle.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Now a dump off here complete, and that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Off the option, here's McCaffrey.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that 1st down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo sack.
Here's Mitch Wishnowsky now on to punt.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And the Bills getting set to go.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
A give up the middle to Singletary. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Allen. Completes it to Davis. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now the Bills will hustle to the line. From the 44, Allen. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 31-yard line. Allen to Diggs there for a Buffalo first. Again, they'll throw with Allen. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, I could spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. It's complete to Diggs. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Allen. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And the 49ers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, it's going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. That's Matt Milano firing in from his linebacker position.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too. As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll run the option left. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. He's going to keep this again. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, Purdy. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Shotgun now with Purdy. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. The kick by Gould is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Now it's Gould after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Cook up the gut. And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's Allen. Looking for his man on the out route, and he's got Diggs. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest, and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On the counter, this is Singletary. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Allen. He'll find Gabriel Davis. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Back to throw. Allen setting up the screen for Cook. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Allen. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie, 53 yards. And the Bills are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And they will take over 1st and 10. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something, because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
From the 29, Allen, he finds his man, complete. It's McKenzie. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game, and a 1st down on that last catch as well. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Allen. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
It's caught by Davis. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Allen now on 1st down. It's complete. He dials up Davis once more. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're talking about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Play action. Now it's Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 30. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To the air, Allen. Out to the left, he's got his tight end Knox. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On the give, this is Singletary. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Back to the ground. This time Cook. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Surprised at all that they went with a fullback there?
Not at all, because it harkened back to the days where we watched these games almost in black and white, right? The stocky guy, the strong guy, the powerful guy with leg drive. Give him the football, and even if the blocking isn't perfect, he has the ability to scatter bodies and move people enough to pick up first downs. That's what we just saw right there.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10.
On play action, Allen. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10.
A give, Singletary right side. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Allen. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Bills have broken the tie. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
Bass on for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. That drive along, spanning 15 plays. And it was Josh Allen using his legs to polish things off. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. As San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 29, Purdy. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. 7 yards there and a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. We'll get this to about the 38.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll go option to the short side. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Well, they have had success when he keeps the ball running it, but not in that situation. I mean, I think we got an example of why NFL coaches really don't like their quarterback in the running game.
Because whether he keeps it or not, he's likely going to take a hit, isn't he?
No doubt about it. And defenses, they're looking to put that hit on a quarterback.
The Niners on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing here, Purdy. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. And Oliver, that time the one to get in there and bring him down. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Buffalo set to get the football back here. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. And this is Cook with a grab. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Just a yard to go here on 2nd down. On play action, Allen. Eluding the pressure right. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Allen. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he's got room. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, down at the 33. Now Allen. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. First down, here's the run with Cook. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On first down, Allen. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see them drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. When they need to play on 3rd down, you kind of know what direction the ball's going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of your other receivers can beat us.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop him. I like the confidence he showed.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Three yards remain for 2nd down. They run with McCaffrey off the option. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. 102 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Purdy now to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw, Purdy. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this returnable for Hines. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the D blanket his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finish this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
Allen off the play fake. On the move to his left. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Allen going to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
But that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Following the fumble recovery, Purdy throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
The Bills offense back out onto the field. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. So after the INT, it's Allen. This is brought in by the tight end, Tommy Sweeney. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of
5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. To throw, it's Allen. On the slant, he's got Davis. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. So give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal. Allen now looks to throw. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Bills have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Tyler Bass now for the point after. And the lead is up to 14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are, but what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to capitalize on it and take it away from them. We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Being chased out left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Purdy from the gun. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Purdy, big 4th down play. Now Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. Gets around him and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 60 yards rushing forward to the ball game now on 14 carries. Got to figure now after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave it open.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. James Cook. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Bills have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the 4th quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was James Cook capping all of that off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. On 1st down, Purdy. Flushed out right. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw again on second down. Purdy. Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for. And it's third and short. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
On third down, it's Purdy. Got a man, that's Ayuk. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 36. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Caught on the slant. Touchdown, 49ers. Juwan Jennings. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Niners have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the Bills, and that should all but do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
Allen down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Buffalo.